Good morning, everyone. Fernando here, God's Prepared Warrior, and welcome to the channel today. Today is Wednesday. It is a hump day, and what do we know about Wednesdays? It's Prepping Tip Wednesday here on the channel. So, guys, just want to thank you for joining this video today. I want to talk to you about your mindset with what if walkthroughs. Let's talk about this. It's not just, I think I say this a lot. It's not always about your gear. When I think about prepping, it's not always about gear. It's not always about, stocking water. It is those things, but I don't just think upon those things, right? There are other things that I also need to get ready. And one of those things is my mind, right? Your mind needs to get ready also, what I do is I do regularly walk through what if scenarios in my head. And so you'll hear me say that a lot when I talk about, maybe there was a major earthquake and I bring that up in a video or on our live on Monday night, and I say, I look at that thing and I tell myself, Fernando, if that happened here, would you be ready, or what would you do, or would you have everything for that event, right? So what if the power goes out tonight for 72 hours? Are you ready for that, right? These are the questions that I ask myself, and I go through these what if walkthroughs, right? So what if there's a gas shortage? What would you do? And one of the neat things is that I'm working on that one, right? What if there's a gas shortage and now you just can't get around anywhere because of the gas shortage, right? And you maybe you can't drive for a week because there's such a shortage of gasoline, right? That's a possible what if walkthrough. What would you do? Do you have the capability to maneuver through that, right? Do you have other means of transportation that maybe doesn't require that kind of fuel, right? What if your phone stops working, and I'm not talking like you dropped it in the toilet, or I'm talking about systems going down, right? Are you prepared for? I know I am. I am totally prepared if cell phones go down and they don't work anymore. How do you reconnect with your family if that happens? These are things that I walk through in my mind all the time, and I do them for two things. To make sure that in the event that thing happens, I have thought of everything, right? Can you think of everything? Maybe, right? I always look for, maybe there's a gap in my planning. Maybe there's, a missing piece, or maybe there's something new that I can learn to fill a gap, right? So, just for that scenario, how would you reconnect with your family, right? I have secured many communication platforms so that I could communicate with my family in the event that on a low level, I drop my phone in the sink full of water, right? Or maybe the phone systems go down, right? These are just mental rehearsals to help reduce panic in a real crisis, right? Because you're building muscle memory, right? In even in situations like that, right? You'll start to spot all of those weak points in your plan before they become huge problems, right? So it's so important for you guys to look at these what if scenarios and rehearse them and ask yourself, what would you do in that situation? And so, I've learned that through the prison system. When I worked as a correctional officer, we went through a what if training. And so, they really drilled us on, this is the situation. What if? What are the possibilities that could happen to you in that situation? And so now I've taken that idea, and it is a tool in my prep, right? It's the what if rehearsal. So it's like a spiritual and tactical muscle memory thing, right, that I use all the time. So just thought I would share that with you today. I like to choose prepping tips that we don't hardly ever think of, and I think this is just one of the great tools that kind of helps you move into preparedness even faster, is rehearsing that in your mind. What if, right? What if the power goes out? What if the water shut off? What if transportation doesn't work anymore? What if we had a EMP attack? What if bombs started? Just run through those things so that if the event happens, you're not just ready for that thing, you're ready for anything, right? All right, guys, have a great Wednesday on this hump day, and don't be discouraged, be encouraged, because God is our refuge, right? And we strive to look to Him, and He is our help. So keep your eyes looking upward, keep trusting the Lord, and have a great day. Remember, stay vigilant and always stay prepared. God bless you guys. Have a good one.